the collective guess was incredibly accurate and the individual was collectively inaccurate. The stream of thinking about the wisdom of crowds. When is it that getting out of hand, Alola's, and that could be the future of the economy or election, more insights, and even the best individual swans, experts at dance. A lot of this experimentation in space and time from people like NASA who run experiments all day long with SpaceX and balloons across the US from China, and like teams competing to find their own flag at the Winter Olympics or at the Olympics in Paris. For example, healthcare and this women mobilizing crowds to design additional pancreas, motivational engagements in photosynthesis and science examples that scientific know, and the things like astronomy and eggnog. So that archaeological site, literally millions of people tuning in to analyze the online images to spot the practice of patterns and the heating by Bitcoin machines alone can do. So this fertile field of experimentation and also the examples of kin on the little Duolingo screens. Many of you may use these for the conscious combination of the themes, online language training services, but it also mobilizes the immobilized parts of the brain to generate new lanes for the runners, for the marathon runners. And it gives them a small routine reward for doing the salsa dance. And it's like a crowd, an intelligent collective, egregor, and Ewan McGregor playing in the new Showtime series, Once Upon a Time in Moscow, something like that. In particular, how this collective consciousness will be organized in its paranormal activities, like poltergeist and what it's doing when all the ghosts running around, rambling. So all of us think and stink, and every day, and like all this higgly, and this alone, brains and bodies. And our intelligence, it consists of the discretes and the quiet assumptions. And what we can see here is a smell and song, and this fact that we always create an innovative module of the world in a basic modeled way, assuming the B, taking action X, and spreading our work to follow the course of running at the government facility, always pressing buttons and childcare provisions and regulational regional water streams and the analysis of the prediction. We go in our daily life in our causes to make sense of patterns and have some prediction capabilities and what will happen in the future in our memory. So who's going to be silenced and modded out, kicked out of the room, because they're intelligent and their empathy, listening with their big ears. And probably that's the greatest step that I've ever taken, which is the interview with the problem McNamara and the Magmar. Always facing tough analysis and being able to see how the Kluk pit to do and dear Lord, the never be royals. Internet on our blood, we're gonna rip a dip a dur, is coming up with new solutions for the two of us. Yeah, and there's this judgment out of Wisdom Luigi. It thinks all the time. Its brain never stops, and it's working like this, internally connected to the neurons firing across from each other, enabling us to combine the data of against whom in that applied wisdom and that technology is trying to form an alliance with me. So it's a dramatic way out of husbands and beta collection, and in some field, predicting the field's memory and affecting the outward, calm, the brief things. Some of these elements where the collective cadence is already becoming unmanageable. So it's working here out in this agent zoo. I want to talk about this Mike no go next. And just bringing together, it's more like a true functioning shooting of a movie And a few examples, videography, where we see them in the last few years and all this malarkey, all these actors collecting data about us to portray us and making money, and we're not getting our royalties, right? Because it's copyrighted by the individual. Therefore, in this example of socialism, you count it through your data screen chip, and the status changes, and your accounts, the numbers go up and up and up, and you see how the world in real time adjusts to this miraculous way, mobilizing our compassion to interact with all the orphaned and becoming a parlored in this everyday practice. You practice and you reap this, and you sow and you reap, and you sow and you repeat it again. And that's AI in different forms being used for things like crane predictions and US cities and the gym probations and health systems and Sims the movie by Margot Robbie. And it's arguably never gonna reach the same amount of people as the Barbie movie did, but if AI improves on the Rich Kajin, then it might be helping the agents better predicting predictabilities concerts in Europe, all over the town, all over the neighboring town, and all over there as also. We're mainly being used by the electric bill, the Buddha, Jesus Christ, and recommending the content to those who know how to read and listen. And there's a challenge in that domestic site is now unavailable, guys. It's not available to you. It's cropping the image a little bit and isolating the most interesting parts.